Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members. Thanks for letting me speak on this. This is the first time I've ever spoken on somebody else's bill. Might be the last time, but I will say this. This is all about a grift, possibly the biggest grift in the history of Arizona. And I think this is something where both parties can absolutely agree on. The fraud that is happening here is unbelievable. Senator Hatathlie came to me early on, let me know what a priority this was, and we did some work together, and I shared with her there were some things that were important to me in this bill, and she addressed those things. I'll tell you one thing. One of the key issues here is this is federal funding. This is only federal funding. This is not private funding. Private funding, these guys, so I actually feel sorry for the guy that was here earlier. I think we leave the private funding guys alone. They're motivated. Whoever's spending those dollars, just like all of us, when we spend our own money, we're careful with that money. When we have these entities that can easily draw down these federal funds, somebody has to oversee the taxpayers' fund. That is a key difference here. And there's a lot of bullet points here and what's happening, but the bottom line is this is a comprehensive approach on going after this fraud and this waste. And so I'm here to say that please get this out of committee. I know the senator is open to amendments. It doesn't matter who the sponsor is. It doesn't matter what the party is. What matters is this good policy or is this bad policy? This is good policy, folks. This is, and if other people have let's not get wrapped around the axle of who's sponsoring what. If other people are sponsoring sober living homes bills, great. And they're good. It's good policy, move it. But I'm telling you, nobody has worked more or harder on this issue than Senator Hatathlie. And the bottom line is this is the intent. The intent is if you want to run a legitimate organization, then you're going to be fine. If you're going to take advantage of vulnerable people and you're going to be part of a grift and you're going to be out there not helping anybody, you're hurting people, and you're driving a Lamborghini, you're going to be out of business. And so this is a big deal. It was troubling. I actually came, but really motivated me to come was kind of see some of the opposition rising up. And this is a chance for us to do something really huge in Arizona in cutting back on fraud, and something we can all do together. So I just want to encourage this committee. Let's work together. Let's get this out, and let's pass something really good for the taxpayers and for the most vulnerable of Arizona. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members, for letting me come into your committee and speak to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Do you have time for questions if they're available?
Sure.
Okay.
I have
Yeah.
a question,
Representative Bliss.
Mr. Chair, Senator Petersen. We're about to hear a lot of negative opposition to this bill. The intent, I agree, it has to be addressed. How do you, we're hearing from our healthcare profession specifically. What do
Yeah.
you suggest we do in response to how this bill, as written without further amendments, is currently in its form that we're forced to vote on, detrimental to our healthcare professions, our nurses, our social workers, our physicians, our behavioral therapists? If you were sitting in this chair,
I think we tell them to bring the language forth. It didn't come forth when we were in the Senate. So bring us the language, and let's take a look at it. You guys could make sure it's good before it gets voted on the floor. But this this classic tactic is that they'll wait to bring up their opposition. Now, some of the things I heard were reasonable and simple tweak. Great. I haven't heard all of the opposition, but the bottom line is when you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, $1 billion, yeah, you're gonna see some opposition. But let's get your language and let's fix it. So.
Any further questions, members? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.